Alright, if you've landed on this video, you know that this is a camera comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE and the OnePlus 10T. But what you wouldn't know is that this camera comparison is a part of the detailed comparison of these two phones. That video is also coming soon, a link to which should pop up the moment it is published and live. Now when you look at the camera setup of both these phones, the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE has a more practical setup compared to the OnePlus 10T, but even so, I didn't go into this comparison with any preconceived notions because camera on smartphones is mostly about software algorithms, so I wanted to see if the OnePlus can actually beat the Samsung. So with that out of the way, if you don't know me yet, I'm Ershad, you're watching Trakin English. Let's begin. Now, starting with the details captured by the individual sensors inside these phones. The 50 megapixel Sony IMX766 inside the OnePlus 10T offers really sharp textures, albeit with the OnePlus algorithm over-sharpening it slightly more. It is sharper than the 12 megapixel sensor inside the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE, that's for sure. Now, the S21 FE has sharper textures more around the center and it becomes soft once you start moving away. Now, this is generally true for most basic 12 megapixel shooters out there. We saw a similar result with the Pixel 6a as well. But you know what's also basic courtesy is that if you like the kind of videos that we make, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever we put out an awesome new tech video. And if you like this specific video, watch it for a little longer. And if you like it, don't forget to hit the like button and maybe even comment below for the sake of the YouTube algorithm. Now, as for the multi-stack HDR processing, Samsung has a very heavy dynamic range look where it keeps the shadows dark and controls the highlights really well, making the sky on the rear pop. OnePlus's algorithm keeps things too one-toned and it doesn't look very dynamic in nature. And we had actually noticed a similar result in our comparison with the iQOO 90 as well. Samsung is still the victor here when compared to the OnePlus 10T, but it would be interesting to see how the HDR performance stacks up against something like Vivo or iQOO. But when it comes to color reproduction, and I can't really believe what I'm saying right now, but Samsung is more accurate. I generally noticed a fairly closer to life reproduction of the reds, the blues, and the greens compared to the OnePlus 10T's rendition of colors, where the reds are generally boosted. And OnePlus 10T's images are generally more vibrant compared to Samsung's more natural look. Although, like I've said multiple times before, color rendition is a very personal preference and a taste that most people have based on what they like to share on social media. So do your edits if you don't like them in post and you can probably get a picture that you like. However, when you start shooting your friends and family, Samsung tends to make facial tones warm and therefore the color sense of the entire image goes for a toss. Now take a look at Sagar's pullover here. It is blue on the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE, whereas OnePlus has captured the real black color. But OnePlus's facial tones are entirely off. But what I'll say here is that the Galaxy S21 FE has a more pleasing image of Sagar here and is far more social media worthy too. Now when you're shooting people against the light, there's the HDR mode that's fired and there is this slight tone-mapped bloom around Sagar's head in the S21 FE shot, but apart from that, it is absolutely top-notch. The HDR correction and the way the whole scene has been represented here is truly flagship grade compared to the dull reproduction of the OnePlus 10T. Now when it comes to portrait shots, again, it is Samsung all the way. I matched the 3x portrait to the 2x portrait of OnePlus and you can see how good the Samsung looks here. I don't even have to go into the details of it. Now moving on to low light situations, the Galaxy S21 FE has the better algorithm compared to the OnePlus 10T. You can see that it is brighter and looks very good. To be honest, I expected the Sony IMX766 to do a better job here because it generally does good low light shots on other phones, but that's not really the case with the OnePlus 10T. Although there's quite literally no noise captured by the Sony IMX766 and the S21 FE, but what I notice is that OnePlus's algorithm tends to soften details slightly, creating that watercolor look which is not present on Samsung. Also, I really like the way Samsung keeps the color temperature warm and accurate in the indoor low light shots. This is exactly how the scene looked to my eyes. Now coming to the secondary ultra-wide angle cameras on these phones, the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE has a wider field of view and unfortunately equally bad distortion compared to the OnePlus 10T. But yes, it is definitely sharper and the color sense consistency is better than the OnePlus 10T too. Now even in low light, it is easy to see that the Galaxy S21 FE definitely does a better job with the exposure, the white point accuracy and the sharpness. So basically ultra wide angle camera on the S21 FE is better than the OnePlus 10T overall. Now to round off that rear camera setup, You get a telephoto on the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE with 3x optical zoom. It is by far my favorite camera in the setup because you also get optical image stabilization with it. Even if it is just an 8 megapixel telephoto, the kind of pictures you can get with it are leagues better than what any 3x digital zoom can achieve. Zoom into the football rink label in this picture and you will see no amount of software can recreate the performance of real zoom. The OnePlus 10T is no match for the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE. And the same is true for low light telephoto shots as well. OnePlus really cannot match up here. But that's not it. You can also use this telephoto camera on the S21 FE to go close to subjects, and it can work as a macro camera as well. Actually, that 2 megapixel macro camera is a pointless camera addition regardless of OnePlus or any other brand adding it. Now coming to the front camera, while selfies look good on the OnePlus 10T, it is the Galaxy S21 FE selfies that have the most accurate facial tones. Even against the light, when you are shooting HDR images, the Galaxy S21 FE looks much better. And to close it out, we also have selfie portraits where the 10T does a great job of edge detection and bokeh blur, but so does the S21 FE, of course. However, since the facial tone accuracy is better on the S21 FE, it would be easily our pick for technically being the better image. This is really turning out to be a home run for Samsung when you're looking at camera performance. Now moving on to video recording, both these phones can shoot 4K 60 FPS video using the rear camera. The Galaxy S21 FE shoots higher bitrate video and higher bitrate audio as well. Details and color reproduction are better on the S21 FE, but the stabilization is nearly identical on both. OnePlus does have a louder sound recording through the mic and the dynamics are good too. Despite the fact that the bitrate is higher on the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE, I actually prefer the mic quality of the OnePlus 10T. But Samsung's recording is also nearly as good, so that's not really a problem. Do let me know in the comment section below what you thought about the image quality, the image stabilization and the sound recording. Do let me know in the comment section below what you thought about the image quality, the image stabilization and the sound recording. Now in low light, what I noticed is the OnePlus 10T does offer slightly brighter exposure, but it crushes the shadows a lot. Samsung keeps things very natural. Plus Samsung has very little focus hunting. OnePlus 10T does look brighter, so that's really a good thing. Now front camera video recording on the S21 FE can go up to 4K 60 FPS, a feature that is not possible on many Android phones these days. You do not get stabilization, but it is great for vlogging since sound recording quality is also really good. In fact, both the 10T and the S21 FE sound really good. The Samsung Galaxy S21 FE can shoot at 4K 60 FPS using the front camera as well. It can also shoot at 1080p 60 FPS. And even in 1080p 30 FPS matched video recording samples that we've shot out here, I prefer the colors, the dynamic range and the sharpness of the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE here. Let me know in the comment section below which one you preferred, because there's stabilization on both. So let me know in the comment section below which one you preferred, because there's stabilization on both. So not just photos, the S21 FE is also the superior camera for video recording. It is really no surprise that the S21 FE has a better set of cameras compared to the OnePlus 10T. It is a proper flagship grade setup with a telephoto camera and consistency across all the cameras that you get with the phone, including the fact that you can shoot 4K 60 FPS video using the front camera. Now the OnePlus 10T's primary camera has sharp details and the algorithm is not really bad. Technically it's good, but the other cameras in the stack are not that good. So what do you folks think of this comparison? Which phone did you like for pictures? You could actually like the OnePlus 10T because at the end of the day, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Alright, so see you guys in the next one. My name is Arshad. Keep tracking and stay safe.